What's going on, guys? Today I'm back with another H.A.T format replay review for you guys. If you're interested in sending in your H.A.T format replays, you can go down to the video description and find all the information on how to go about sending those in. Anyways, the match I have for you today, we have Iturian or Iturian, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, who is going to be on 6 Samurai versus WCQ, who is going to be on H.A.T. I'll definitely make sure to read through some of these 6 Samurai type effects just because I haven't shown them off on the channel because it's not very common in H.A.T format. But anyways, let's get straight into it. Here it looks like WCQ did win the rock, paper, scissors, and we'll get to start this one out. Opening hands, we see Grandmaster, Asceticism, Breakthrough, Xian, Smoke Signal, and Wiretap. And on the other side, we see Duality, Dianea, Trap Trick, Trap Hole, Nightmare, Torrential Tribute, and Ignition. Drawing a copy of Bottomless for turn, activating Duality, and here they are going to take a Sanctum, putting back a DD Crow and Moral Tack. After that, it looks like they are setting 4, choosing to hold the Torrential, which makes sense. They have so much interruption already, and also by not setting this, it means that the Ignition can hit Iturian's back row if need be, whereas if they had set the Torrential, if nothing else had been activated at the time, they would have to pop their own back row, which they really don't want too much in this situation, unless, I mean, they're targeting Sanctum, chaining Sanctum, obviously, or vice versa. But anyways, over to Iturian, who is going to get a copy of Xian Smoke Signal. So I guess real quick, I'll kind of go over what these cards do. Xian Smoke Signal is a non-once per turn Rhoda for level 3 or lower 6 Samurai monsters. Asceticism says target 1 6 Samurai monster you control, special summon 1 6 Samurai monster from your deck with the same attack but different name, and if you do, destroy it during the end phase of this turn. And Grandmaster is just if you can only control one of them, and then if you control a 6 Samurai monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card in your possession is destroyed by an opponent's card effect, target a 6 Samurai monster in your graveyard and add that target to your hand. But anyways, let's see how Iturian actually plays this one out. It looks like they actually just set 3 back row. Interesting, and it looks like WCQ is saying that he's probably going to have to read some of these cards, so I would assume that maybe they knew what the other player was playing, in which case it seems weird to do this given, you know, they had the Smoke Signal, the Asceticism, the Grandmaster, they had like a lot of what they would really need here. But maybe, again, if they do know what WCQ is on, maybe just prioritizing this Wiretap in case there is something like, for example, the Sanctum that they know was added. If that could go into something like a Scythe, maybe just playing it slow is the right play. Also, H.A.T isn't really going to be OTKing you or anything, so it is kind of okay to play it a little slower. That's something that a lot of players need to kind of expect in H.A.T format in general, that unless you're playing against like one of the Dragon decks or even like sometimes Mermail and stuff, a lot of the decks aren't going to be OTKing you or anything. But anyways, let's get back to this match and see what happens. Here, WCQ gets a copy of Mermail, which is a very strong draw given they already have Dianea. They're going to normal summon and use the effect, but that is met with Breakthrough skill. Interesting that they're using the Mermail or attempting to, given they already have the Bottomless and the Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare. That means that they're obviously going to be on more copies of the Trap Holes, which H.A.T usually isn't. Maybe they're on like a second copy of the Trap Tricks, Trap Hole, Nightmare. So that's kind of an interesting thing there. But anyways, next they're just going to go battle phase and attack in for some damage. Back over to Iturian, who gets a Rhoda. So now they have all the search power. Here they're going to go Smoke Signal into Elder, which basically just can special summon itself if your opponent controls a monster and you control none. After that, they're going to special the Elder, activate Asceticism, being able to summon a copy of Kagamusha. This one, its effect is kind of irrelevant. The big thing to note with this is it's a level 2 tuner with 1800 defense. And so from here, they're probably, Sanctum is going to be activated. And Iturian chooses to let it go through, not using the Wiretap here. They do, I believe, have, the Breakthrough skill in Graveyard. So when the Moral Tack comes down and uses the effect, maybe they'll use it. They do use the Breakthrough here. And after that, they're going to synchro into a copy of Xian. This card's obviously really cool. It's the iconic monster of the deck. It says once per turn when your opponent activates a spell or trap, quick effect, you can negate the activation, and if you do, destroy it. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can destroy another 6 samurai monster you control instead. But here, WCQ is going to activate Bottomless. Eturian is going to chain the Xian, trying to negate it, but the Traptrix Traphole Nightmare is going to be activated. But here, saving that wiretap was good because they can shuffle back the Traptrix Traphole Nightmare, and the Xian will get to stick here. Rhoda will then add a copy of Legendary 6 Samurai Inishi. This one says once per turn, during either player's turn, you can banish 2 6 Samurai monsters from your graveyard, target 1 face-up monster on the field, return that target to the hand. You must control a face-up 6 Samurai monster with a different name to activate and resolve this effect. While you control 2 or more face-up 6 Samurai monsters, except its own name, this card gains 500 attack and defense. And keep in mind, Eturian hasn't normal summoned yet. They started their turn by, using the signal to get the Elder and then asceticism into the Kagamusha, so they can still normal summon here, and also they do have the Grandmaster that can just special summon itself. Let's see if they end up going for a big push here. They are going to use Smoke Signal and get the copy of Kageki. This one is really cool. It says when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower 6 Samurai monster from your hand, and then while you control a 6 Samurai monster with a different name, this card gains 1500 attack. It's only a 200 base stat with a 2000 defense. Usually this is used with your copy of Kagamusha being a level 3 and level 2 to make a copy of Xian. But here it's just going to give them an extra body on board with, to give so that you have extra attack on this as well. Here they're going to summon the copy of Kageki, special the Inishi, special the Grandmaster, and go battle phase. Attack over Mermail, attack over the Moraltech, attack in with the Grandmaster, and attack in with the Inishi. Doing a lot of damage, but it looks like WCQ is still alive. Let's see how they can play through this if they're actually able to. The only other card is this Ignition here, which is almost interesting that they didn't activate it when they went for the Sanctum play. Maybe they aren't on the Beagle Tech, but that would also be a little kind of a weird play. But they do have this Dionea here. So let's see what they do. They summon the Dionea, use the effect to bring back the Mermail. Here, Eturian's going to think they're going to use the Inishi, banishing 2 to bounce the Dionea here, which, it locks them out of making a Xyz play here, and then setting Breakthrough Skill and Torrential. From here, Eturian gets a copy of Asceticism, and they're going to go battle phase, run over the Mermail, and that is enough to wrap up game number 1. So moving into game number 2, WCQ will get to start this one out again. Very cool showing from Eturian so far. Opening hands, we see Asceticism, Kizan, which is basically just a non-once per turn special summon while you control a 6 Samurai, and then it gains a bit of attack and stuff. Kagamusha, 2 Kagamushas actually, and actually 2 Asceticisms as well. On the other side, we see Potted Dichotomy, Moraltech, Call the Haunted, Torrential Tribute, and Mermail. Drawing a copy of Ice Hand for turn, normal summons the Mermail, adds a copy of Bottomless. From here, they're just going to set 4 back row, one of which is obviously the Moraltech, over to Eturian, who gets a copy of Xian's Smoke Signal. And they're going to take a second to think here. They're going to go Smoke Signal into Kageki. Then summon Kageki, use the effect, special summon the Kagamusha. WCQ is going to use Torrential here. Alrighty, back over to WCQ, who gets another copy of Moraltech. That's a little unfortunate here, but summoning Ice Hand is good, being able to put some pressure, even though we didn't really see that much back row from Eturian. Well, I guess they kind of bluffed with one of the Smoke Signals, and then they also had the Breakthrough Skill and Wiretap, but here we're not seeing any of that. Here they draw a Rhoda, so again, they just have all the search power in this deck. Getting another copy of Kageki, which they're going to summon, use the effect, summon the other copy of Kagamusha. Next, they're going to go Asceticism to special summon the Anishi because this, since they had another 6 samurai, it is at 1700. And so obviously the Anishi would be at 17, so they can special it here. It has a different name. And from here, Bottomless is going to be activated. And they're taking a second to think. They're going to use the Anishi. Did they have... Oh, they did have 2 in graveyard. Yeah, because of the Torrential. And they're going to go and... Let's see. Last game I was thinking... Oh, Nishi boosted all, but oops, don't think it changed anything. Really, just thought it was correct. All right, so they're having a bit of a talk here. I'm not sure if they messed up on the attack or something. Maybe they did. I'm not entirely sure. But here... They are using the Anishi to bounce itself. Let me just double check. Banish 2 6 samurai, target 1 face-up monster on the field, return that target to the hand. Okay, so yeah, just bouncing itself here to prevent it from being banished, and then special summoning the Kizan. From here, they're going to synchro into the Shien again, go to battle phase, run over the Ice Hand, which can't float because there's no back row, and then Kizan will push in for some damage. And looks like main phase 2, they're going to set the Asceticism back over to WCQ, who gets a copy of Warning, and sets that and the Moral Attack over to Eturian, who gets a Dark Hole, summons the Anishi. WCQ says it's good. Now there's an attack boost because of the having 2 or more face-up 6 samurai monsters accept itself. Maybe that's what they were talking about there. But anyways, Call the Haunted is going to be activated to get back the Ice Hand. And they say it's good. So now if they run over the Ice Hand, it will be able to float. And so they do run over the Ice Hand. Ice Hand is going to... Oh, they say after attack declaration. Okay, so they are going to chain this and summon a copy of Grandmaster because now with the attack boost, the Kizan is at 21. So this will special the Grandmaster here. And then, yeah, the Asceticism won't be on board because obviously they activated it, so the Ice Hand won't be able to float. And this is just enough damage to game. Seeing the Moral Attack, and Warning. Yeah, so like even if they had Warninged here to stop the Anishi, I don't think that would have been enough still, honestly. So, very interesting. Or maybe even if they, let me think, if they Warning the Asceticism, it would only leave them at 2400. And yeah, it was still, it would have got this off the board. It would have been enough for game regardless. So we do actually see 6 samurai take it, which is really cool. You guys will have to let me know what you think of that in the comment section down below. But anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like on it. Comment any questions or videos you want to see in the future. Subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell to get notified anytime I put a new video out. Share this video with your friends. And don't forget to go down to the video description to find out how you can send in your hat format replays. But anyways, guys, I will see you in the next video.